グリザイアの果実。
Bonjour watcher, this is Johnny Mega 45. Welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia. In the last episode we are seeing shooting style. Yeah, shooting
続きから
style. Machina practicing shooting.
最近のおもちゃってすごいのね。こんな距離であんなに小さな的に当てるなんて。
I won't deny that the guns performs well, but that was 25 meters outdoor shots. You know, if you're going to praise anything, it should be Machina's skills.
そうだぞ。私は褒めると伸びる子だって地図も言ってたぞ。
と言われても、私にはどれほどのことなのか今一つピンとこないのだけれど。
Oh yeah, why don't you try, Yumiko-chan? In that case, want to give it a shot yourself?
そうだそうだ。ユミちゃんも自分でやってみりゃどんだけ難しいかわかるのよ。
誘っていただけるのも嬉しいけれど、私は泥まみれになるのはごめんだわ。
Raisin!
どちらかといえば椅子に座って紅茶でも飲みながらチェスでも指す方が好きかしら。
相変わらずのインドア派なのにね。そんなこと言ってったらドジミだって言われんのよ。
イリスさん、その私のことをドジミだと言っているのってどなたなのかしら。
強いて言うなら主に私。
あら、そうなの。やだわ、こんなに力強く自白する犯人なんて私初めて見たかしら。もう言わない。
Shut up, ugly. Machina, a very funny girl. That's why I like her.
まったく、あなたがこの学園に来たからというもの、ますますイリスさんの口が悪くなってきているような気がするのだけれど。
What? Is this my fault? Well, I mean, I guess you might have some of a point, but...
おいってまたここの女、加減ってものを知らねえ。これだから一人っ子はよ。
イリスさん、まあいいわ。風見くんもあまりイリスさんに変な悪影響を与えないように気をつけなさい。
I'm trying, you know. I just call her every once in a while. But...
だからまず叱る人間であるあなたが生活態度を改めなさいとそう言っているつもりなのだけれど。
In other words, lead by example, not just instruction. Impressive insight, Sakaki.
分かっているのならなおのことよ。自制なさい。
なんだよ、ユミちゃん、言っちゃうの？一緒に遊ぼうぜ。
結構よ。お二人でどうぞ。
Sakaki, you have a second before you go?
何？
Nanny? Come on, no need for the full power scout. I just want to ask if you keep quiet to the others about this.
それは構わないけれど、理由ぐらい教えてもらえるんでしょうね。
Activity that get this officially section has a safe extracurricular spot. I don't want to deal with people's prejudice misconception. That's the only reason.
スオーさんはすでに何か嗅ぎつけているわよ。
Nani? I'm aware. I asked Amane to turn a blind eye for now.
あのね、考えてもごらんなさい。スオーさんが知っているのなら他に誰に隠すというの？学園長も了承済みなのでしょ？となればあとは松島さんと小峰さんよ。あの二人に知られたところで何を困ることがあるというの？
言われてみりゃそうなのよさ。
Right. Even if you told me Chidu, she probably fight back. Okay, so what? Do whatever you want. I mean, it's not like I'm interested in the slightest, so can you not waste my time telling me? Just die already, why don't you? For something along those lines, building us such a hit of steam that for the whole student train ends up flying off the rails in a burst of verbal violence. And for Sachi, we probably get shooting. Sound of what is ready to do, resident. What do you plan to shoot into what? I apologize. My notes are all absolute. Or something along those lines, leaving all with the earshot reflexively pressing palm to forehead and grounding in anguish. Okay, is there not a single half normal person in this damn place?
それは自分も含めての発言でしょうね。
つうか今さら何言ってんのよ。
Fair enough. This place really is a den of eccentrics, isn't it? No wonder I feel it.
だいたい秘密にしておくと危険じゃないかしら。赤旗だったの？あれが掲げられている時は立ち入り禁止と全員に徹底しておかないと。安全のためのルールを知らないなんて、それこそ意味のないものでしょ。
What's this? A sensible argument.
こういうことを言ってるとなんかまともな人に見えるから不思議なのよさ。あ、仕方ですか。ですよね。はい、マキナ黙ってます。
とにかく何をやっているのかは秘密にするとしても、赤旗のルールは徹底しておきなさい。私からは以上よ。
I can't deny that it seems we're a little sloppy in our safety procedures. Guess there's nothing for it. Time to break out the ultimate weapon.
最終兵器？何それ？ミサイル？
No, try again.
じゃあ限りなくミサイルに近い何か別のもの？
No missile, please. Why are you so caught on the missile thing? When it comes to ultimate weapon, nothing's more ultimate than the mount gun.
何それ？
Treating an empty gun and thought it was loaded with ammo. Lining out the shot as normal, then yelling bang bang instead of firing.
ああ、つまり状況の人になれってやつな。
That's right, when you're not actually firing us, anything becomes a legitimate target. Imagine trying to pretty good style, you know. You can climb out on the rope, or the Easter Scooby and aim at the principal office.
ああ、地図を狙撃するのか。ちょっと楽しそうなのよさ。
Hell, since we're not actually firing, we could even go on an even longer distance shot. Let's see, snapping the principal office from that high spot on the bench, maybe? Nah, guess they might be pushing it. When you get over 1200 meters, 7.62mm isn't really going to cut in.
じゃあさ、とりあえずあれ撃つ練習してみるってのは？
What thing? Marking a sorry finger indicate a twin tail blunt there. Apparently story back from the convenience store, obliviously sucking away at a half unwrapped ice cream bar. Not a bad idea, all that Makina. Camera on and get in a position to fire.
レンジャー！
You're going to shoot me, Chiru. This is the target to 70 meter. 70 meter. Wind from the right to left. Up 3, right 2. Target movement speed estimated 4 km per hour. Adjust your wing edge 2 millimeters further to the right.
捉えたのよさ。
Don't aim for the head. Smack it right into that meager little chest. Got that?
射撃用意よーし。
Wow. Who's there?
バ
Having successfully eliminated on the pursuers to their evasions, we proceed to make around blowing imaginary holes in various targets through precision mark gun sniping.
マーキナー、あんた晩ご飯食べ終わったんならさっさとお風呂入っちゃいな。私も後から。
ー日焼けした。顔面と肩がめっさ痛いのよさ。
日焼け止めもしないで一日中外で遊んでるからでしょうが。
だって日焼け止めしても汗ですぐ流れちゃうんだものよ。
楽しかった？
ゴッサか。そりゃかなり楽しかったみたいね。何して遊んだの？
誘導尋問に引っかかるところだったのよ。イリスマキナ美浜学園所属学籍番号4番1月13日生まれ。
何？どうしたの急に？
敵の捕虜になったら名前と認識番号と生まれた日しか教えちゃいけないんだってパパが言ってた。
捕虜って別に拷問してまで聞き出そうとは思ってないわよ。いいからお風呂入ってきなさい。
了解。
まったく。
いけねえ。アヒル持ってくの忘れるとこだったのよさ。
Mr. Duck.
もうアヒルはいいけど、他にはおもちゃを持ってっちゃダメよ。まったく元気なのはいいんだけどさ。さてと、それじゃあ早速マキナの日記でもっと。あれ？あの子、日記帳どこにしまったのよ。さっき書いてたんだから、そんなに奥にはしまい込んでないわよね。やだもん、またこんなところに脱ぎ散らかした靴下しまい込んで。一度履いたらちゃんと洗濯に出せっての。もうつーか日記帳はどこよもう。あったこれなに本日の日付はと。あったどれ今日はパパと一緒にプリンキングごっこをして遊んだ。ゲロッサ楽しかった。
プリンキン。何？
ゲロッサ？まあきっとメッサの最上級のことなんだろうけど、それより何これ？これがプリンキング？
プリンキング。
足がプリンの王様、プリンキングじゃーって。もう何よこれ。モギタンの次はプリンキング？っていうか、なんだかもうほんと全然意味がわかんない。あの子は一体ユージと一緒に何してんだろう。
Traita and Furiki were the best of friends. They spent many carefree days playing together in the deep dark forest, rumored to be haunted by goblins. One day, Tuna Fishman abruptly appeared before them, while vigorously displaying himself with gleaming his book tusk. Toro! It says Amane was tormented by this remarkable surreal dream, ultimately leaving to her feet and yelling, "What the hell now?" to no one in particular. A sad tale, although I failed to see why she complained to me the next morning. Work time, I guess? Elderly people are fond of the phrase "experience as much as you can while you are young," but it appears somewhat rare for a youngster to genuinely understand those words. I'm something of a special case. I've seen much more than most people my age. Hell, I think I'm on the world-weary side of things, but even so, sometimes a small discovery or brief comment will completely overturn what I thought I knew. Experience is the most valuable form of knowledge, the survivor's greatest prize. Repeatedly, experience is something until you know it's inside and out is worthwhile, so it's seeking out new experience and widening your horizons. And this time, Makina's opting for the latter. I don't think it's anything more complicated than that.
Ne, Makina, 本当に行かないの？
今年はパパと一緒に過ごすのよさ。
And something is going to happen this year. Just this morning, Makina declared that she will be spending her summer vacation in the dorm rather than accompanying Amane to Kyoto for the second time. Apparently, this last moment change of plans was not just as Amane was preparing breakfast today and came to a shock as the girl dropped the kitchen knife to the floor dramatically.
何度も聞くようだけど、なんで？こんなのと一緒にいたって楽しくないでしょ？
Can you not call me a thing to my face? At the very least, try not to point for emphasis. You have managed to bruise my feelings a bit.
まあパパと一緒にいたいってのが一番の理由なんだけど、
Single biggest reason.
他にもアルバイトとかあるし、リンゴの苗の水やりとかザリガニの世話とかもあるしな。京都は去年経験したので、今年はパパと初めての夏を過ごします。
大丈夫なのかな。あんたご飯とかどうするの？
大丈夫。パン焼きマッシーンもあるし、パン食べ放題なのよ。
パンだけじゃダメでしょ。ちゃんと栄養も考えないと。何か日持ちするおかずでも作ってから行こうかしら。
You'll be fine. I'm going to take care of the cooking.
つうか、あんた料理できんの？なんか豆ばっかり食ってるイメージが。
Not to worry, I'll get some pumpkins in there as well. A human being won't die as long as they got beans and pumpkin to eat.
あとパンもな。あ、かぼちゃパンでも焼いてみる？やべ、うまそうじゃね？
なんか心配。マキナが行かないなら私も行くのやめようかな。
心配すんなって。割と何でも器用にやってみせるから大丈夫なのよさ。行ってくるがいい。そしてお土産は生じゃないやつし買ってきて。お抹茶味のやつ。
あんた本当に硬いもの好きよね。
I'm a traditionalist myself. Give me some more of the default cinnamon flavor ones.
わかったわよ。ちゃんとお土産買ってくるから、マキナはちゃんと宿題やるのよ。ユージはちゃんとマキナに宿題やらせるのよ。
Yes.
わかってんのかな。私がいなくなっても遊んでばっかりいちゃダメなんだからね。
いなくなるって言っちゃやだよ。あまねえ、ちゃんと帰ってくるのよ。帰ってこなかったらあまねえがどこへ行っても必ず探し出して迎えに行くからね。
ストーカーみたいなこと言わないの。ちゃんと帰ってくるからね。
No need to drag out the farewells then. The Yukama Shinkansen leaves at 8:50, right? You got to miss the train unless you get a move on.
じゃあ行ってくるね。
By the way, Makina, we will now send our Amane on a journey to the capital with 3 hearty cheers.
そうよ。そう、あまねくんの出発を祝して万歳万歳万歳。
やめてよ、恥ずかしいじゃない。
And now they finally turn their right to the stairs towards the station ticket left, leading our large meaningless farewell salute. While I certainly appreciate the value of Amane's contribution to our well-being, I assume her temporary absence wouldn't have any particular serious effects on our lives. Remind us that casual attitude was partly the product of stubborn pride. I got along just fine by myself before, didn't it? Did I? But once the woman was actually gone, it didn't take 30 minutes for the first problems to begin surface. The first 30-minute problems? Hey Makina, how old are the eggs in this fridge?
そんなこと聞かれても私が産んだわけじゃないのよさ。
I hope not.
2、3日で腐るものでもないし、あまねはいっつも奥に新しい卵を入れるから手前から使ってきゃ OK じゃね？
Huh, I see.
それよりおトイレの紙がもうなくなりそうだけど、替えはどこにあんのよさ。
Huh? What am I saying? I don't remember buying a sub, so you should have plenty in stock.
あまねは何でもしまっちゃう女だから、きっとどっかにしまい込んでるのよさ。
Like where I don't see any way to hold things in this room.
階段の下かも。ほら、この部屋の向かいにある階段の下の小部屋、別名あまね倉庫。
Amane warehouse. Amane warehouse.
あまねはティッシュとかトイレットペーパーとか缶詰とかスーパーで安売りしてるととりあえず買ってあまね倉庫に放り込んでおく癖があんのよさ。 ペットボトルのお水とかも50リットルぐらいしまい込んでるのよ。
Sounds like a pretty decent little emergency stoplight.
基本的に貧乏症なのよさ。クッキーの箱の包装紙とかリボンとかまで取っておくタイプな。お、貧乏症で思い出した。
Makina probably sticks her hands into the fridge and start rooting around in search of something.
あったあった。これこ
Why? What's that supposed to be? The semi-transparent Tupperware container in Makina's hand is stuck to the brink with a yellowish powdery substance.
ほら、前にアマネーがかぼちゃのスープ作ったでしょ。これはジューサーで絞ったかぼちゃの絞りかすなのよさ。
Seriously, who wants to save that stuff?
そんなものとは何ですか。かぼちゃは皮の部分が一番栄養があるのよ。それを捨てるなんてとんでもない。
I see my father's husband. What are you planning to use it for?
もちろんパン生地に練り込んでかぼちゃパンを作ります。お昼はこれにしようぜ。あとさっきの八つ橋の話で思いついたんだけど、シナモンロールも作ろう。
I see. Talking about Yasuhashi, you get you in the mood for something with cinnamon.
そういうことな。じゃ早速パン生地を。
Hold on, Makina. Take a look at the clock.
おお、9時な。そろそろアマネーは新幹線乗った頃かしら。
No. It may have to look at the other wall. Look at the other wall.
レフト、ライト、ジャッカス。
Wrong. I pointed a large piece of paper hanging on the walls towards summer vacation. Skillsy would scroll across the top in Makina's handwriting.
なんだスケジウールってのは新種の羊毛。
You're the one who wrote that. Playing dumb isn't much good when you are the one who wrote the damn thing. 9 in the morning is homework time. Yes, do your homework.
宿題っつってもアマネーが勝手にやっときなさいって言ってるだけで、別に学校で出た宿題じゃないのよ。
True enough, and Amane is not around, so I guess it's all good. Ha ha ha.
そうそう、母の
Were you seriously expecting me to say that? Idiot.
そげん怒らんでもよかろうもん。
If you are thinking I'm going to be soft touch compared to Amane, you got another thing coming. You decided this schedule yourself, so I want you to at least pretend to follow it.
振りだけでいいの？
Not like you'll learn anything if I force you to study when you don't want to, but at the very least make yourself sit in front of your desk and at a set time every day and pretend to study. Once that becomes a habit, your brain will start waking up all of its own when the time comes. You'll be able to focus intently and get a great deal done in a short time.
本当に？
There's no point intruding along through your textbooks for hours on end. 1 hour is just about right for the study session. Give it a try and you will see.
なんかうまく騙されているような気がする。
Set aside a specific time every day for focused, undistracted study. I learned that simple technique from my big sister. Apart from her school subject, she could constantly produce outstanding results in virtually anything with nothing more than an hour or so of a daily review. And once I adopted her study method, I managed to maintain a fairly respectable academic standing in my own right. When you get used to studying in brief chunks, you naturally start challenging yourself, pushing to see how far you can get within the limited time you have. Sometimes you'll look back after an hour's finish and stunned at how much you accomplished. And so, starting off with a quiz titally Japanese just for show attitude. Makina sits before homework problems and pretend to ponder them, whereas the style of pretending is pretty superficial. It amounts to little more than a childish parody of real studying. Her pen doesn't move an inch. Just pointing in a vaguely appropriate way doesn't really count, you know. At least try to use your head.
振りって意外とめんどくさいのよさ。
Realize that is step one. I mean, the world would be overflowing with genius if we could get smarter with no effort, right? Guess it's all for the best, though. Not like a super high IQ does much, but make a life harder.
それはなんとなくわかるような気もするのよさ。でもそう思える人は寂しい人なんじゃないかなってそう思うのよ。
You're talking like you actually know something about this.
まあな、これでも一応あれよ、 子供の頃は振動って呼ばれてたのよ。
Alright, think I sort of know where you're coming from. People labeling prodigies and geniuses often come off as a little broken in the head.
パパは笑わないんだね。
At why?
私が昔振動だったって言っても笑わないのね。
Did you hear me? I kinda understand what you mean. I don't have the first-hand experience, but my hyper-competent big sister fell into a similar category. Children labeled prodigies have their hands full just meeting the expectations of those around them, and their brilliance earns resentment and jealousy from peers. At best, they end up well off by their own exceptional status. As my older sisters say, once they set you apart, you are left with your choice. You can struggle to stay the genius, or you can play the fool and become a clown. And it comes to think of it, it's easy to imagine from where my sisters chose the former option, Makina went for the latter. You don't have to pretend to be an idiot around me, you know.
それはちょっと私を買いかぶりすぎなのよ。正直な話、バカのふりを続けるうちに自分でもどっちの自分が本当の自分なのかよくわかんなくなってきてるのよさ。パパはどっちの私がいい？
Guess I like you the way you are. But not that I want you to keep acting like a toffus, but there are a lot I like about you right now.
例えば？
Let's see, for example, the way you're earnest and proactive about everything, the way you never give up on something without even trying. These last few days, I deliberately said some pretty absurd things to Makina, made some unreasonable demands. Even so, the girl gives everything a try. She's eager to discover new things she can do and willing to work hard at the things she can't yet manage. And when she does succeed at the task she struggles with, she comes running right over to me with a hand full of pride, flashing a compliment. At the end of the day, the girls might just want my praises and respect, but it hardly matters why, does it? When I pat her hand on the kid and says you did well and see her squirm like a contented kitten. Mysteriously enough, I find myself thinking, alright, what should I teach her next? Almost like an affectionate parent. I find her more than a little strange, but I can't deny it makes me happy as well. I wanted to be back my master felt satisfied when she adopted me. Looking at it from that angle, this make-believing game seems almost like a karmic mission pressed on me by fate. It's a slightly creepy thought, but there's also something fulfilling about it. I definitely like having you around. I think you're cute the way you are. But that doesn't mean I'm okay with you being a clown for the rest of your life. I want to make that clear.
まあね、私もずっとこのままじゃいられないってのは分かってるのよ。でも勉強したところで何が変わるの？っていうか、なんで勉強なんかしなきゃいけないのかな。
Let's see. In your case, the fact that you're already pretty comfortable financially might be the biggest problem. The most compelling reason to study is probably when you step towards some lucrative future or dream career. I mean, once you decide what you want to do with your life, reading textbook isn't exactly crucial. Like, if you're determined to become a pianist, you can focus entirely on studying the pianist and ignore the rest. Well, that's something for everyone, exchange some for granted. Point is, it doesn't really matter so much what you are learning. If you're really determined to become a concert pianist, for example, the pianos become a lens through which you see everything else. By engrossing yourself in the piano, you can gain a rich, broad understanding of the work, the kind of deep knowledge you never pick up from thumbing identifiable through textbooks. People get myopic, of course. The difference between word specialist and the terms idiot savant is the difference between seeing the world through your field and mistaking your field for the word itself. Peering to the lens I pick up from my master, I got a pretty decent feel for the way things work out there. And as I learn, every scoop you can pick offers its own unique perspective. Gazing through your chosen lens helps shape your values and define you as a person. Makina, do you have any, dreams? Something you want to be when you grow up, that sort of thing?
そうね。今んところパン屋さんが狙撃兵ぐらいかな。
What? Well, you're not lacking in variety at least. You got the vaguely warm world of a baker shooting souls through their taste buds and cold sniper tracking a distant target with that in their eyes. When it comes to common ground, I guess they both occasionally require a lot of stoic behind the scenes effort. Well, I'm really a little dubious about Makina's future planning right now. As a parent, I should be trying to leave as many paths as open for her as possible. And considering my role as a master, I feel obligated not to laugh in her face. That's it, what exactly am I supposed to do for her right now? That's a lot less clear. Glancing down at my watch, I find the diary reading 0 a.m. Alright, that's an hour. We are done studying.
まだ何もしてないのに。
If you're unhappy over wasting hours of your life, why not use that time a little more productively tomorrow? Keep it at it and the baby step. That's how you form a last habit. I turned to the copy of Makina's schedule on the wall. The next block of the day has the words playtime scribbled next to his sloppy letters. Since we have some recreations next, but I had to say, doesn't this schedule have a great deal of playtime?
バイトのない日なんてそんなもんなのよさ。つうわけなんで遊んでよパ
Huh, again with this. Play what?
パ。パパは前の学校にいた時何して遊んでたの？
Don't think I record a lot of playing in general. I got used to a way of life where extracurricular activities were limited to eating and sleeping, so my off days were usually some combination of napping, reading books, and studying. As for the guys around me, it was all cards, ponies, or boats. The rare outliers were the ones who opt for bikes or motorcycles instead. I'm not about to ask the girls ponies or pokers. In their first place, I only went to the race or casinos where they have forced me to tag along on a group outing. In my old school, you needed to submit an application to leave the grounds on your days off. Without a stamp authorization card, they wouldn't let you take a step outside.
おお、なんか面倒なのな。
Yes, it was indeed. There were a bunch of people who didn't get out much, myself included.
じゃあパパは今年の夏休みもずっと寮で過ごすの？
No, I'm planning to visit a grave for one thing.
お墓？誰の？
My master's in Yamanashi need to clean it out and all that.
いつ行くの？
Haven't decided yet, but sometime before the Bond Festival, figure I do set a welcoming fire.
じゃあ今日行こうよ。
Today?
今から私お弁当作ってあげる。
Huh. To be certain, it seems a little more constructive than hanging around the door aimlessly, and I did give GB advance warning of my plans. It's a little sudden, but I don't see any reason why not. I take my private cell phone from my breast pocket, navigate to the number marked JB, hard data to Yuria, and press the call button.
はい。
The phone rings several times before JB speaking as her voice holds with a blended displeasure of an overworked public service pulled out of the pay by a telemark marketer. Were you
こ
sleeping?
このところ面倒な仕事が多くてね。少し仮眠していただけよ。要件は何？
It's about that trip to Asako's graves. I decided to go today.
また急ね。日にちが決まったなら3日前には報告してって言っておいたでしょ。
Thing is, when I woke up this morning, Asako was standing at my bedside with a bitterly resentful look on her face, cursing me for not visiting her grave. I burst into tears and said, "You got it all wrong. It's all JB's fault, but she didn't just seem to buy
ちょっ
it."
となんで私のせいにしてるのよ。
JB, you were sleeping yourself, right? Tell me, has Asako's spirits paid you a visit yet?
やめてよ。私そういうの嫌いなんだから。
In any case, I got to visit Asako's graves ASAP. Give me permission to leave the prefecture.
わかったわよ。許可は出してあげるから、利用する交通機関と途中立ち寄り先を記載した行動予定表をメールで送ってちょうだい。
Affirmative.
まさかまた何日もかけて歩いていくつもりじゃないでしょうね。
No, this time we're using conventional public transport. Halfway through the sentence, I happen to notice Amane's helmet lying in the corner of the room. Hold on. Actually, I think I will get there on my own power after
走
all.
っていく気？
No, I will go by motorcycle.
バイク？誰の？
I'm borrowing Amane's.
交通違反したり事故なんか起こしたりしたら大問題よ。電車にしなさいよ。
How many times do I have to tell you that I can't stand trains?
だったら許可しないと言っても聞かないんでしょうね、あなたは。
Glad to see you understand the nature of the situation. Give me the go ahead.
仕
使用する車体のナンバープレートと車体番号、それと自賠責保険の番号をメールしてちょうだい。わかった？
Got it, I'll send that before I leave. Alright then.
アマネのボバ太郎で行くの？
No.
アマネのバイクの名前。
Ah, yeah, that's right. Amane did say I could use it anytime, so, you know. Figured I might as well take the chance to ride for the first time in a while. She didn't insure the thing properly, right?
わかんね。
The documents will probably be the vehicle it says. I guess let's go take a look. I had to look at a motorcycle key engraved with the letter K. Among the numbers are the things dangling on the hook by the door inside Amane's room. Marking as I probably head to the parking lot near the courtyard. Amane does talk about this bike every once in a while, but I never actually seen her riding the thing. In fact, although I have noticed a little likely looking vehicle sitting under the cover in this lot, I never actually cast eyes on the beast itself. Amane once says, I'm not sure what the name was. Kawasaki 250, I guess? At first, I do picture some sporty touring model with a parallel twin engine. But then again, it's easy to describe as a chopper that will look out in an American biker gang. So just what do we really have? Bracing myself for any idea of the cover dramatically. What the hell? And state the very words out of my mouth, a simple expression of disbelief. Even before I removed the tire, I had a feeling something was off. For a general commercial, the thing was just too short and too long. And indeed, if you can't the shit, it's no mere motorcycles. It's a genuinely hot rod, ridiculous road stick. What if I so violent that I can't even guess what the original model was? This is ridiculous. Looks like they cut it apart with a blowtorch and saw, then meshed it together, and the rear suspension is ridiculously short. Can't even remember the last time I saw a lowrider like this. Just from this, I can tell the frames we cut the neck, then I look at it with a new well at a different angle. And the conventional seat rail seems to have been chopped off entirely. It's been replaced by a small tandem seat sitting demurrers on the top of the tack rack on flat rear fender. Hell, even the main sandals been replaced with a cruiser seat. I've been expecting to find the documents in the storage space under the seat, which clearly doesn't even exist anymore. For a moment, I just stare at the hack together monster in astonishment. I'm not that familiar with that genre, but I guess it's the sort of motorcycles you call old school. I see, this really is something you could picture something Amane's right. Let's say the deal over there are all riding super sports or power crusaders these days. The only people who really appreciate the classic American styles anymore are old men with beer bellies and the Japanese.
ああ、久しぶりに見たのよさ。
Tell me, Makina, you have any idea where she stashes the papers?
多分そこ。他に入れるとこないし。
Makina points out and it causes let the tools bag hanging off the small side of the motorcycle, secure the fastener with a small padlock. Alright, there's be a small key I couldn't identify the same way as the motorcycle did. That means must be for the back. Let's see, the papers are... Oh, here we go. After removing the locks, I began rifling through the contents of the cylindrical bag. Sifting through a minor assortment of tools, I discovered a sheaf of papers rolled into the plastic tube. Owner Suamane, regard the VI and license plate numbers and the compulsory insurance looks like it's going through April next year. Damn, she even got supplementary insurance with rider covering a passenger.
まあ、アマネはそういうとこしっかりしてるからな。
Well, Amane got it together with that sort of stuff. We should learn from example right there. Looks like there won't be any issues using this.
そうな。あとの問題は動くのかってことなのよさ。
What?
ここんとこあんまし調子が良くないらしいのよ。最近は全然乗っていなかったし。
When you chop it out and sew it back together.
「ボバ太郎のことは任せるのよさ。私はお弁当の準備を始めるのよ。
Indeed, I'll take care of it. That's easy enough to talk with, but what's the deal with this thing? I can't even tell what it used to be before they started hacking away. Look at the papers, it seems like a base was an off-road motorcycle, more precisely a dual-purpose trail bike that could handle messing around in the dirt. But the model doesn't match the vehicle type. Did they swap in an engine from a totally different motorcycle? Completely ridiculous. Hell, Where do you even put the key into this thing? There's nothing that looks like an ignition cylinder on the top bridge. After repeatedly looking over both sides of the frame, I finally discovered the keyhole be relocated under the main seat on the right. Inserting the key, I give it an exploratory half turn to the right, and in the custom mini meter wedges on the left of the tank, the green neutral light and red oil light blink to life. Battery seems to be alive. I reach out to the right hander and feels around for the starter switches, but they are where I expected them to be either. Looking more carefully at the engine, the self-starter motor seems to have been removed entirely. The whole plug is out with a black rubber stopper. It's a kick. Fighting down a wave of irritations, I look over the right side of the frame and find the kick start lever. It's unusually sharp, looks custom ordered, probably designed to keep the brake from getting in the way when you are kicking down to start it. Wait, is this thing forward on the left and mid control on the right? Unbelievable, guess I should be grateful they didn't throw a sword on the suicide clutch while they were at it. Probably because the rear brake is a cable pulling drum type. The pedal position further back compared to the shift lever on the left side seems like it feels a little weird. I mean, once the thing gets up to speed, you will just be resting your right foot on the forward peg anyway, but having to move your leg all the way back to get to the brake is even more disconcerting. In any case, let's see how the engine runs. I flip over the cape of the carelessly unlocked tank and find plenty of gasoline inside. And within a second, I see volatilizing petroleum shimmers in the summer shine. Looks as though the fuel's still good. I had to switch in the pack pop belt under the tank from OFF to on. I put the choke plunger on the cable, turn halfway up, then pull my phone on the kickstart and lightly press around the levers in search of the top gear, and the moment I discover the point of greatest resistance, I give it a good hard kick. Oh, that was easy enough. Considering how long the vehicle just been sitting here in neglect, the more hard tap out so easily that it actually feels a little bit of anti-climax. The vehicle designed by the customer is normally a bit more ordinary. For someone actually keeping this thing again all the time, it's been sitting here. This is actually a good bit of ammunition for there's a strange line sneeze from the motorcycle exhaust pipe, and it's vigorously idly engine abruptly stalls. Whoops, well, figured it would be that easy. I give it a kick at another vigorously slap, but this time it doesn't even count. There's no sign of ignition even engaging. You gotta be kidding me, right? Yeah, I got to be kidding. Battery by the blazes sun lukewarm sweat tickling heavy down my forehead. I smash down on the kick lever again and again. The neutralizer still on, so the electronics are still functioning. The battery is a small MF type designed to power morph and scooters, but with a kickstart that should be more than enough. Even though the electrical system fine, we are not getting a spark and the engine did start once, just a minute ago, which would mean $10 says the CDI on the phrase. And that's episode here, my friend. Thank you for watching my video. My video are just for fun. Don't take heart, brothers and sisters. Okay, magic word time. Adios e famosa.